yeah, I was scheduled, of course, 4 weeks ago, but then I had a severe flu. So thank God it could be rescheduled, but now on a Wednesday. But so for me it's fine, and it's recorded as well, so that's great. The only thing was, at the original date, I invited a guest, and well, he couldn't make it today, so I'm doing it alone. And it was not like he was going to do a lecture or something, but he was going to be the client of the assignment that we are going to do later on in the workshop. Hi. So he's not here now, but I will still give him your ideas and ask for this feedback on your ideas. So I will still deliver what you bring in the assignments. So what is this lecture about, or this workshop about? This workshop is about the E-phase of the EBC model. Did you know, did you already saw the new book on engineering?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You were trying to sell the book.
You're trying to sell the book? Ah, really? Yeah, because I saw the physical book, the real book. It was it was here last week. One book. So I am the writer of the chapter on the E-phase, so the enable phase. So that's why I'm here now, telling you more about it, explaining more about it. And the E-phase is the enable phase where we as Imagineers, we try to enable co-creation. And at the end of the E-phase, probably you will have a platform. And platforms are something, especially in this master, that are really important. And I see a lot of you working on platforms during your application time. So with your application company, I see a lot of you working with platforms. So maybe it could be really useful during your research, or I don't know. But anyway, platforms are the output. But why is this so relevant? Why has this become so relevant? Well, first of all, and you probably already know this, so I'm not going into that, but first of all, boundaries are blurring. Traditionally, we have two roles. We have like the role of consumer, we have the role as producer. But those roles are blurring, and we are frequently increasingly adopting both roles at the same time and switching effortlessly between them. So for example, at Airbnb, you can provide accommodation, but you can also buy accommodation. So you can be the producer and the consumer at the same time, or switch between those roles. At YouTube, you can look at clips, but you can also upload your own clips. So boundaries are blurring. And yeah, that gives a lot of opportunities. So the other reason why it's really relevant is, well, platforms are penetrating our society at a breathtaking rate. And in doing so, they are changing the way we think. They are changing our traditional ways of thinking. Things like guts, creativity, continuous learning and experimentation have become the standard if you want to stay afloat in the uninterrupted stream of changes. So we need kind of like a space as Imagineer where we can bring people together and where those boundaries are not there, where it doesn't matter that there are boundaries or that people or that the rules are blurring. We need a space where we can bring people together. We need a place to create inclusion and interaction with consumer, because consumers, that's a traditional way of saying it, of course, but yeah, it is also clear to you. Consumers, they want to be included. They don't want to only consume. Yeah, sometimes we do, but most of the times we want to be included in the process. We want to give reviews and maybe decide what the products are going to be. So we want to be included, and we want to interact with one another, and maybe also with with the company itself. We want to interact. We want to talk with them. So, as an Imagineer, it's important to enable a creation space that allows the emergence of new combinations and interactions. And maybe for now that's not clear yet, but hopefully after the workshop it is. And I will give a lot of examples. So during this workshop we are going to explore the definition of an engagement platform, because the engagement platform can be seen as the output of the E-phase. We are going to explore the definition of an engagement platform, and I will give a lot of examples about it, because that makes it clearer. It's really difficult to grasp, although we are already kind of like familiar with the word platform. And like 5 years ago, no one knew what that meant. But nowadays, we are already a little bit more familiar with that phenomenon. It's a new phenomenon in our society. So this is the definition. An engagement platform is an interactive environment for interlinked stakeholders where co-creation is enabled with value creation as the objective. And like I said, we are going to explore that definition further. So all the things that are underlined, we are going to explore. What does that really mean, actually? But before we do so, before you maybe even really know what an engagement platform is, I would like you to have a pen or a laptop, doesn't matter. I would like you to write down in silence, so don't exchange what you have, but write down 3 that you think are platforms. 3 platforms. So I will give you a minute for that. So that's not a lot. So write down. Don't think about it too long. To that. And before we are going to explore that definition, I will show you an example of a platform. I think it's a really good one, and it's also a really one that is well known, probably. It's the one from Nike Plus. Is anyone familiar with that platform, Nike Plus? No? Do you know that sensor that Nike had at a certain time that you could place in your, you know it? You could put it in your shoe.
And it tracks what you did.
Yeah.
And then it shares it on the platform.
Exactly. So it you could monitor your progress with it. You could share it on a platform with a community of runners. You could find buddies. You could find a new coach and that kind of stuff. And the sensor in the shoe was kind of like an indispensable part of the platform, and I will show you a clip about that.
Runner, huh? Fantastic. Well, if you like running, you're going to love running with Nike Plus. Picture yourself out on a run. With Nike Plus, that run becomes an endless parade of information about you. How fast you're going, how far you've gone, how long you've been at it, how many calories you've burned, it's all there, which is awesome on its own. But when you download that run to Nike Plus, you get your doors blown off. You'll see every run you've ever done, all the details, the whole enchilada. Pull up maps of your runs. You'll know exactly where you got lost. Got any friends? Awesome, put them to work. They can cheer you on while you're running by posting comments to your Facebook page. Better yet, challenge them. If they're really your friends, they'll still talk to you while they're choking on your dust. Nike Plus recognizes and rewards you for your efforts.
I'm Allison Felix. Congratulations on your fastest 5K ever.
And when you're ready for your next challenge, Nike Plus will take care of that too. It'll create a training program for you and help you stay on the path to victory. See what I mean? Doors blown off. Now go grab your shoes, get yourself some Nike Plus, and let's get out there.
So what is striking here for me is that Nike is a seller of shoes and of clothes, and they don't even talk about that in this clip. So they also don't see themselves anymore as a seller of shoes. They see themselves as a driver of social change. Well, I don't really completely agree with that, but you see this is a really different perspective than traditional organizations have. They see themselves as a driver of social change, and with that sensor and with that platform, they manage to integrate themselves in the daily lives of people, and that is what we want with a platform. We want to integrate ourselves into the daily lives of people, because that gives us the opportunity to communicate with our peers within the domain of the brand. That's really nice, of course. It's not like you only buy shoes and then it's bye-bye Nike. No, you are always there. We can always talk with you, and you can talk with each other. So they integrated themselves in the daily lives of people, but in addition they also gained a profound understanding of the values and needs of the users. So as a result of that, new ideas could be generated more rapidly, and the co-creation opportunities could also be repeated more often. So what else happened here is that because they build a relationship with their customer, close relationships were established, and also trust, which is really important on a platform. Trust is so important. That's also the reason why, was it Airbnb? I think it was Airbnb, that they almost disappeared, Airbnb, at a certain time, because there was no trust between all the stakeholders. And then they integrated the review thing and that kind of stuff, and that gave more trust to people. So yeah, I see only one disadvantage for this platform. Maybe there are more, of course, but do you know what I mean? But if you have, well, let me just ask you, what do you think about this platform? Do you like it or don't you like it? It's also possible.
Which one?
The platform.
I like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's nice if you are engaged.
Yeah.
And if you practice sports.
Yeah.
Actually,
of course, it's for a specific target group. But
yeah.
Because they spark two different things. One is the engagement through the same cause that in this situation is the sport, the running community, and at the same time, from this common ground, let's put it this way, they create like a social media, because they mention something like about events or which is another business that it's going on right now, like all this running events. So
so that's a good remark, because it's not only an online platform. That online platform also connects the offline activities. Yeah. So I always would recommend to do something both online and offline. And there are offline activities as well, like events, or for example, they have a wear testing platform where you can test new clothes and give reviews about that. So that's all happening offline. The only thing from an Imagineering perspective that I think is the disadvantage of this platform is that Nike Plus is still in the lead. So it's still a little bit traditional, like the organizer or the organization is in the lead. Whereas it would also be really nice if other stakeholders could be in the lead. or could have initiatives or things like that. So that is something that that we as an Imagineer we would also like to accomplish. But I think it's a really good example of an engagement platform. So, like I said, let's explore the definition further. And in the bachelor, when I do this workshop, well, it's not exactly the same. Then also co-creation is underlined. But I kind of like assume, because you are in the Master of Imagineering, that you already are aware of what co-creation is about. So I guess we can skip that part, right? And maybe if we have time, so let's see, then we can always do that part, but that depends a little bit on the time. So, an interactive environment. Interactive, I also assume that you know what that means. So, interacting, stakeholders that interact with each other, that talk with each other, that share, that exchange, kind of like that. But what is that environment? An environment. An environment is simply like a place, an offline place or an online place that you offer to your stakeholders to interact with each other. So like I already said, I would always recommend to do both. But online is something, of course, that is a really, we are familiar with online because we currently know platforms primarily because of their online manifestations as a result of the technological developments. And the other thing is that the range on the internet is also many times greater than if you pick an offline platform. But you could do an offline platform as well. So then, for example, this could be an offline platform, but then something had to be happening here. Like we should interact with each other. Now it's only a classroom, but outside of these classes, there needs to be interaction as well. So then maybe this could be an offline platform. I did an internship last year at Netflix in Breda. That is a company who designs online platforms, and I did research there on online platforms. And their building is an offline platform as well. And why do I say that? I will give you more examples later on. But for example, they have a cafeteria and everyone is welcome there. So customers are welcome there, stakeholders are welcome there. And like a small intervention that they do in that cafeteria is that they organize lunch every day, a free lunch. And then it can happen that sometimes you see people there that you don't know because everyone is welcome. You can also have kind of like an office space there. And if you become a client of Netflix, so if you give them the assignments to make a platform, then they want you to be there a couple of days of the week as well, to work together with them. So co-creation is could be stimulated more. So yeah, just a couple of examples of how a simple office can also be an offline platform, but I will give you another example later on. But traditionally, we know offline platform, especially because people are trading goods for centuries. So we kind of like see marketplaces as offline platforms as well, but from an Imagineering perspective, we don't want a platform only to be a marketplace, because okay, that's kind of like interacting, but yeah, buying and selling, well, that's not what we want. We want to build that sustainable relationship. Yeah?
Like a co-work space could be a platform.
What kind of space?
Co-working space.
Well, maybe. It depends. It can be. A marketplace could also be an offline platform, but then you have to make sure, as a kind of like a facilitator, that people can interact. So maybe you have to design some interventions so people can interact and exchange and share. So it can be.
So the e-face is always related to some kind of platform or put people together and facilitates the interaction between people, online or offline. This is basically the e-face.
Yeah, that's a really good summary. Yeah. So we're done. No, but I will give you a lot of examples. We will explore the definition further. So probably at the end I already think this definition is perfect. So let's, I like this one. Yeah. So offline or online or a combination of both. And you can, online social media, you can use them as an online platform as well. But I think there are really a lot of limitations on Facebook, for example. So I wouldn't see that as an engagement platform. It is a platform, but if it's an engagement platform from the Imagineering perspective, so please keep that in mind, that people can call their website a platform, whereas we as Imagineer, we would not call it an engagement platform. So there needs to be more than only posting messages, posting pictures and liking pictures. Because that's for us, that's not really enough. So that's the environment part. So the first part we understand, right? Or not? It's not a problem if you don't, because let me know. We understand the first part? Everyone? Sure? No? Not completely? Yeah?
I just have a question. Why do you see Facebook as a engagement platform? Normally the brands, they do content for like they search for the interest of the common interest.
Yeah.
And they post to engage people on
Yeah.
the content.
Yeah.
So how it's not
Well, at Facebook, maybe someone else can respond to that. Let's just check whether my message was clear. Well, your question is, why is Facebook not really an engagement platform, right? It is a platform. Yeah, you wanted to respond?
I'm not a good fan, but I can see that it's a platform that enables people to get together for a common purpose or common interests. So from this point, they exchange information, they co-create. So I see it as a platform.
Yeah, definitely it's a platform. But whether it's an engagement platform, I'm not really sure about that.
I think there is no facilitation because it's just co-creation, because it's just about people doing things and they use the information that people put there.
Yeah, yeah. So they don't really facilitate. Although that also might be a good thing, because then that means probably that the self-organizing principle of the stakeholders is being stimulated really well, because they take over themselves. So that could be a good signal.
That's the dangers of the self-organization.
Yeah.
A good, very good
I
example.
agree that Facebook is not engagement. I
Sorry?
can't really agree that Facebook is not engagement platform.
No, but it's also like it is a platform, but for me it's not engagement enough. Let's say it like that.
it's how you use it.
How would I use Facebook?
Yeah.
If it were an engagement platform, well, the facilitation is kind of like it's not happening. Facebook themselves are also not communicating, so it's for all stakeholders. So they deliver a platform and then let people do whatever they want. Yeah, sometimes they are skipping pictures and nude and that kind of stuff, but they are not really participating themselves.
I just see it from the point of a brand.
Yes.
Not using Facebook.
Yeah.
I got it if you see it from the Facebook perspective.
Yeah.
I got it.
That's more like it. Yeah.
Well, because you just mentioned that they don't participate. I don't know if like actively, but recently they have been shutting down lots of groups and profiles, which they don't agree with the political view, for instance, which is like totally nothing offensive, but once it's against their progressive lenses, they just shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they kind of act on this, trying to steer how the platform should work. So they act.
They steer, they manage, they control, they facilitate. And the other thing is that an engagement platform, there should there should arise some kind of engagement between the stakeholders, so the brand and the stakeholders. And that's not happening on Facebook. Of course we use it, but it's not like we are connected more to Facebook and we like Facebook and we are fans of Facebook. You know what I mean? And maybe we are fans, but yeah, Facebook, it's kind of like more a tool for a platform than it is a platform. So you can use it as a tool, and then it can become.
If you create like a group or
exactly.
something, then you can create.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they are the tool.
Yeah.
They provide the tool.
Yeah. So I see it more like a tool to create that platform. So, well, we were with the stakeholders, and I already explained that kind of, because we used to be, or we used to have two kind of stakeholders, producer and consumer. You buy something with money, and you get something, a product in return. But on an engagement platform, those boundaries can get really blurry. It's not always like that. For example, Nike Plus, it's not blurry. Well, it's not like Nike Plus is the consumer, but sometimes you can become the producer there as well. But there also can be more stakeholders than only producers and consumers. So don't only limit yourself to the most obvious stakeholders. There can be more stakeholders as well. But that depends on the context, of course. So that is kind of like the interlinked stakeholders. And with interlinked, I mean like, yeah, you have a common goal, shared values. And that's really important. You have a common goal. Where co-creation is enabled. So co-creation is enabled. So you are trying to facilitate, you are enabling things that happen there. So co-creation and interaction are orchestrated or facilitated, which means that as a facilitator, you really look at what happens, you observe what happens at the platform, and then you decide, okay, is there an intervention necessary or an activity? For example, at Nike Plus, they give rewards. Well, sometimes if the platform dies a little or is a little slow, then you have to do something to make it come alive again. And that is enabling. A couple of nice examples. Mentos, we all know Mentos, right? The candy. Mentos, they did things like this. So it was not like they have a specific platform, but they had offline and online activities which together created some kind of a platform. So for example, this was an offline activity. There were postcards that you could send one another. You could compliment each other. But that was also connected to something online, because online you could share your complimentos. So you could give others a compliment, which was really nice, I think. And if you talk about creative tension engines and narratives, yeah, then kind of like that complimentos is something that triggers you, that really helps you to get inspired or tap into the imagination. So this was happening online, and there was something offline as well. I will show a clip to you about that.
Hello. Hello, sir. Newspaper?
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Newspaper? Mentos? Yeah, sure. Have a read of it.
High 5.
What does it say? Fist bump. Fist bump.
Awesome.
Fist bump. Thank you. Have a look at the suite. Oh, yeah. Good man. Have a good day, yeah? Thank you. Bye.
No, these are special. They say something.
Rock, paper, scissors.
3, 2, 1. Ah.
Yeah, good job.
Wow. There we go. What's yours say? Hold hands. Come on then. Let's see how long we can make it before it gets awkward. That's easy. That's an easy one. He's not here. He's not here now. There we go. Lovely. There he is. No, I'm getting married. Today? Congrats, man.
Proposed.
What's this one say? Proposed. That's that.
He's my boss, absolutely.
You gotta kiss my hand though. I'll kiss it. Alright. Will you marry me? Of course I will. You star. And nothing with this. Stick to that. Oh, that's good. Ready? Hello. Would you like a Mentos?
He says not to Mentos.
Yeah, you probably got what it was about. I forgot to tell you, but there were little challenges written on the Mentos itself, but that was clear, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have to explain that, yeah. So, well, what Mentos said themselves about this was we are trying to bring back appreciation for simple interactions such as bonding over a sweet. The new challenges are designed to get people to step away from their phones, encourage interaction and enjoy a shared moment with others. Yeah, beautiful, of course. I'm not really sure if it's, well, for me it still sounds a little bit like they want to sell their product. But yeah, if it's really true and if it's really authentic, then of course, yeah, it's beautiful, right? Or not?
Yeah.
What do you think about this? What the things that you saw, what they are doing? For you, is that an engagement platform?
Yeah. Probably yes. It was more interaction. But
There were
not
interactions?
yeah, but not engage. Engage to what? It's like just a single moment that you interact and then
Yeah. So that is something that could be improved.
Yeah.
Other comments on that?
Yeah, but still the beauty is in that short moment, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So if you add on it, it may lose the beauty of the short moment.
Yeah, could be. But still, we want to build a sustainable relationship with that engagement platform.
Yeah.
And the question is whether that is accomplished by this. Although, and that's the reason why I'm showing you this, these are great examples of small interventions and activities. That's the reason why I'm showing you this. Because maybe it can give you inspiration if you build a platform yourselves or during your research. Yeah, those kind of small things can have a big impact, of course, on people. But the question is there the engagement, is it sustainable? So yeah, that's a little bit like, well, that's also why I'm doubting about this. And the other thing is that I don't think it's fully co-creative. Like, it's not like Mentos is involving the stakeholders in the process or something. They just give some interventions. They design it. They didn't involve the stakeholders at all. So, well, you can ask your question if it's really co-creative.
is it new?
New?
Yeah.
New, the challenges you
Yeah.
mean. No, it's not new, but it's like limited.
Okay.
So sometimes you can buy it, but yeah, it's I don't think you can buy it at the moment. Half a year ago you could, and then I wanted to buy it. I don't know what happened then because I wanted to show it to you in class, but I don't know why I didn't. So okay, never mind. So another example of an intervention or an activity on an offline platform. This is an office space at Netflix, the organization I was talking about. They see the office, the building, they see it as an offline platform. And you can see a dog here.
Almost a kangaroo.
It's a dog. So this is their office dog.
Office dog.
Their office dog. And it comes in every day And don't worry, he doesn't stay at night. So he goes home with his boss every day. But this is really a good example of enabling, of facilitating interactions. Because I cannot think of a better way. Yeah, maybe a baby. But yeah, you don't have an office baby. But yeah, and a dog is a great way for people to bond over and to talk to one another. And especially if you have clients coming in and there is a dog, then yeah, you see what happens. Because there will be a lot of interactions if you have something like this. So they're really enabling those interactions with this small intervention. So, well, maybe it's not small, but it's...
Did you say it was negative?
Sorry?
Did you say something about being negative? No.
Negative?
Yeah, a negative example? No.
No. I don't know what I said then, but it was not about negative. No. No, I really like this example. So now, I would like you to pair and to have 10 minutes to share the platforms that you wrote down half an hour ago and to pick the best one and to have a look at the best one and to have a look at how they are enabling. So what kind of interventions do they share or facilitate at that platform? Is it like that they reward people, or do they post questions on which you can respond or something like that? So yeah, please have 10 minutes for that. So pick the best one.
I just wrote 3 online platforms. Exactly.
Something like when you were in high school teaching, so the platform is just on TV every day.
Like just thinking about it.
Yeah,
organized.
Yeah. I think it's, for example, like it was an just look and then we just discuss about it. Like what we teach there is from the platform women online. Like everything. Just have a day. The day on the channel itself for the government. Website. We have to support it on and on Monday. Try to remind
They don't have like
actually, I'm not really sure because right now there's not yet. I don't think it's interaction between the platform and community. Yeah, because not really can say everything. It's an act. But for the class, for my school, I think they do a good job in discuss about it. Then I woke up and was like, yeah, something like that. Everything.
Okay. Here. Oh, yeah. Here, yeah. Like,
So we cancel it because I don't know why. I think it's very because it's like fight for the food and the people who live far away, everybody all live around this side, they have a shot to the safety. So I think it's a good one, both
okay.
and then
it's the 90 and then
don't they drink you or? You don't have money anymore. Do I want to pay for the channel? And if like it's as product, then you know in this context, it's have a job, it's have anything.
I don't mind. It's like
have money. So people
when I see like somebody for something, I don't need to really like is showing like marketing strategy. It's like marketing
meditation, music, podcasts, science, activities, and there are some highlights. So you can create like this
I think it's the same, but it's different purpose.
You can create
something very fun.
No, this is so but this is the second platform that I would have made something so you can consume, have more light, you can produce video, and it's also a social media like vote. This is times 10,000 votes. And this is how many the details of my news, like tournaments, how many times I use it like a game or something like this. And this is my rewarding, like my engagement. And this is my platform. This is my first charity. Find yourself somewhere. Asia gives you the great advantage.
How can you become
Everyone can and the platform and also when you today and this is the Dodge pointer. Someone is right now, like now it's 5.4 right now, and then they show our new blanket one, and which idea is going to
they track all the information.
Yeah, and the rewards, so gives you rewards you as much as you are engaged. Triggers engagements, develop content and share, and where I want to contribute. So yeah, basically yes. Yeah, I get it. I say no, nobody can. Ella, Lara, and the other two girls.
Three or four times during the night. Just like not with an open mind. No, just always
the same. You see, everybody's connected in some way. It's also the best part of the community.
Look at this at 5, that's 6, 4 times.
So you have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
This is nice because like you triggered to
One part of the big project, the big solution.
Okay.
Okay, so let's continue with what you have now.
Facilitate, provide, they use the platform as a tool. It's one of the mission is facilitate.
Yeah.
The platform is just one of the.
I'm really curious what the platform is that you are so passionate about. But before we continue with that, I suddenly realized that I totally forgot to ask you to introduce yourself, and not everyone knows you. Yeah.
So
maybe you can do that.
My name is Nienke. I'm living in the Netherlands, and I wanted to do maybe next year this master. So that's why I'm joining the class to see how it goes and what everyone interacts. What it is about.
Yeah. So welcome, Nienke. And I also forgot that while I was preparing my the iced tea stuff of my presentation, that someone from the department or from this floor walked in and asked me to ask you if you could do the dishes in the kitchen, because they were assuming that it was yours.
Yeah, that is a wrong assumption actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because usually when we look to, when we use, we do that.
Oh, okay.
And
I
so
will try to find her later on.
It's good to talk to everybody in the floor.
Yeah. Well, I think she did, but a lot of people are not here today, so that's why she is from probably. Okay. Anyway. Let me hear what you have, because I'm hoping you have a lot of nice examples that I can include in my presentation as well. So yeah, let's hear. What do you have? Which platform was the best? Which platform was the best for you?
Yeah, we came up with two examples. I brought the Insight Timer. It's a platform whereby you can consume courses, guided meditations, podcasts. You can attend courses, online courses, but you have your own profile, and you were rewarded by your engagement, and plus you have like a social media whereby you connect with people that are engaged with the same activities as you.
And how do they reward you? Is it like you get points and then you get a different status or something?
It's accordingly to your engagement.
Yeah.
So but if you have like a...
but what is the reward?
The reward, it's milestones. We'll give you like stars that means like how like silver, diamond. And
so you get kind of like a status out of it.
Status.
I'm gold.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I must be good or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably have more, but I want to hear all of you a little. So, what was your platform? The platform that you chose? The best one? LinkedIn.
Yeah, because you were also thinking about doing a premium account. They also have more courses for you.
Yeah.
You can, educate yourself.
Yeah, they do that now. Yeah, I saw that as well.
None of us have tried it yet, because I think you have to pay for the account now, but we just remembered that they also have this.
Yeah, so that you can see that as kind of like an intervention or facilitation. Also kind of like a reward, again, that is offered to you when you are kind of like a higher member or something. Yeah. LinkedIn is also a little bit like a tool, of course, that you can use. I definitely think you can create engagement there. example?
Our example is Lego Ideas platform.
Yeah.
You can upload your idea from Lego.
Yeah.
And if you collect like 10,000, for example, votes, the idea goes to the design department of Lego, and they can put it in production if they decide it's good enough.
Yeah.
You also can join tournaments and vote for your favorites and things like that.
You even get 5% royalties when yours is executed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great example. Lego is, I think, one of the best examples also of co-creation, because they are only facilitating nowadays. They give you kind of like the factories and and the bricks, of course. But the events that are organized for Lego are all organized by stakeholders and fans. Newsletters are written by fans. So that's a really nice example of co-creation also. Yeah. What was your platform?
Something that I taught last week.
Yeah.
It's called Future Proof Community.
Oh, okay.
It's the matchmaking platform for sustainable entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So you can add challenges, solutions, library. We can indicate people to match to each other. They have a big community. So the engagement is about sustainability. It's It's created by Dutch organization. It's called CSR Netherlands. It's corporate social responsibility.
Yeah.
It's a non-profit organization connected to the government as well. And they say we support our partners by facilitating network transition programs and by developing relevant products and online tools.
Yeah.
And the platform is one of the tools.
Yeah, it seems like a really good platform, an engagement platform.
Yeah. And the reward is the engagement about sustainability, and they promote promote also business network.
Yeah.
You can add your challenge.
Yeah. You can add your challenge and then maybe respond to it or something.
Yeah. And also you can use as benchmark.
Yeah.
Because we can also add
Nice.
solutions.
Nice. I'm going to write that one down. Yeah. Yeah. So please be aware that a reward, it's not like you have to have a reward on a platform, but it can really help to attract and to people. But it should of course never be the motivation for you to join a platform or to stay at a platform. Let's keep it like let's say it like that. Because a reward, it triggers you and it may help you to join. But if you are going to stay, that does not always depend on the reward. So a reward is a great activity or a great intervention to have on your platform, but it's never. There should be more value on the platform than only the reward. It should be really valuable for you. And what was your platform?
Well, I was talking about e-learning platform in Thailand.
Okay.
We were like have a very straight entrance to the university in Thailand when we were in high school. So the government just provide the platform e-learning, the channel for all the students around the country for free.
Yeah.
So they can learn all the subjects that gonna have a test later to enter the university. But I feel it's not much more interactive, But after class, I always get a brief from my teacher, and everyone in the class are talking about it because it's it's on
So they are discussing it and
because it's on weekend. So,
Well, it could be a nice start for a platform.
Yeah, but they
Could
already
share maybe more on it. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Before we go to a break, I would like to have a look at one more clip about the value creation part. Because, like I already said, the reward is not like the thing that really is the value part. A platform needs to have real value for us. for you as a consumer or as a stakeholder. It needs to contribute something to your life. Your life, well, it has to set some things in motion. And we, as an Imagineer, we want to have a memorable or transformative experience even. So it needs to have value for you. And, well, we are focusing especially on the psychological value and the social value of things. So the economic value, like earning money, that's less interesting for us as an Imagineer. It can be part of an engagement platform, of course, but we are really searching for the psychological value and the social value. So the difference between that is sometimes a little bit blurry, but psychological is more like for yourself, right? For your identity, for your reputation maybe. Whereas social value is more like, okay, exploring your network, improving your network. That could be the value of a platform. And anyone heard of Kudos? The platform of Kudos? No, it's started in Canada, and it's now kind of like emerging to the rest of the world. And as they explained it themselves really short, Kudos is a platform connecting people with and without disabilities to do splendid things together. And I have a small clip about that.
Offers is it's a way of activating and harnessing sort of the informal capacity of community to share passions, to learn from one another, to take care of each other.
Kudos is really introducing people to each other at its heart, and introducing people to the world that they may not have had a chance to experience because of the way they've been segregated. They're just as creative and just as imaginative and just as spirited as anyone else, so why do we have these barriers?
My number one favorite one so far, besides the Japanese experience, was a tour of Massey Theatre. It was so much fun.
I think Jordana's a leader. I felt immediately I would love to encourage her, and I think building the bridge is the most challenging part. And once it starts to happen, we can run with it, and you know, the Cadeurs can become an integrated part of our organization, I think.
From the theater experience, I learned that could be opportunities to be an usher, guide people to their seats. I see my future pretty good. There could be job opportunities, I'm not sure. Mom is really hoping so. And we'll see what happens.
My favorite experience was meeting the mayor of New Westminster. I felt special when I got to declare something at the mayor's desk.
I think learning has to be something that is a lifelong process. I think of my own experiences and going back to school actually only 5 years ago. You know, I think that's just a big part of life.
This is the online Kudos catalog with all the different experiences.
One of the things that I'm really proud to have worked on is to not just have Kudos experiences be, you know, something fun and exciting, but to actually put some real thinking behind how to make them into learning experiences. We learn best by combining different sensory modalities. So one of the things that we've tried to incorporate in every Kudos learning experience is what kinds of things Cadeurs can touch or smell or hear.
Reflection Cafe happens at the Heartwood Cafe. It's where Cadeurs get together and you talk about your experiences.
Kudos provides those moments that can spark reflection, and reflection can then spark learning.
The
allows us to flesh out one's life and one's path.
A badge is like an award for going on the experiences.
Marlene is receiving the festive food badge, as well as the hair care badge, never to be mixed.
So what do you think about this platform as an engagement platform?
It's pretty cool because brings something beyond entertaining.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
There is a learning experience.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So the value is really clear, right? Psychological value, like learning, but also improving your identity. Maybe even when you offer an experience, you can also learn from it. And the social value is really also like improving your network. Do you also see things like disadvantages about this network, or sorry, this platform, like we previously saw at Mentos, Nike even, or is this the perfect platform?
I think without we have to constantly talk to each other.
Yeah.
Then it's more. The first part is also more facilitating because the people need to find each other.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in the later on the people they already know the place where they're going, so they don't choose the platform, but they would just go to the place where they meet and
yeah.
they make a point.
But I think what the fact that they have an online platform that they connect to offline activities is really nice. So yeah.
But the reflection is a facilitation.
It is a facilitation in a way because they organize it. Yeah, they enable that people can come together. So they are still enabling, but in a different way than online, of course. So they really connect the online and the offline activities. You also saw the rewards again. That seems to be part of every platform. And what is also different with the other platforms is that this platform is their product. They offer you this as a product. It's not like Nike or Mentos who have a different core product, and then in addition they also have that platform. So I'm not saying that that something is wrong or right about it. I'm only seeing the difference. So here the platform is the complete product as well. So it's not like a side product or something. They're really focusing on the platform. I think for me this is a really, really nice example of an engagement platform. Because engagement is really built here and also in a sustainable way. Because the stakeholders that are offering the experiences, they stay connected. They even stay in touch with people that they offer the experience to. And people who are buying the experience also stay connected and stay engaged. So I would like to give you 10 minutes, but not longer. So please be back here 6 minutes, well, in 10 minutes. 6 to